Coming up on the Sports Desk.
We've got scores from this week's basketball games, as well as some career-high shout-outs.
Then we'll catch up with the Saxons and Spartans soccer teams.
Plus, the Warriors basketball team gets into the holiday spirit. They're hosting a toy drive for those in need.
You want it? We've got it. Let's get it, Torrance. The Sports Desk starts right now. Welcome to the only sports show designed with the Torrance sports fan in mind. You are rocking with the Sports Desk. We're your hosts. I'm Cedric Welton, and
I'm Dani Miskell.
And welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
And thank you. It's good to be back with you guys.
And know how we've missed you here at the desk, Dani, and you've been gone for a sec, so why don't you do the honors and kick us off?
Would love to. All right, then, let's start with some Warriors hoop coverage. They hosted Northwood, and they took the courts by storm. Sports Desk reporter Catherine Gallo is on site, and she files this report.
West Torrance boys basketball held its home opener on Tuesday night against Northwood, looking to keep the momentum going after its 7-2 start to the season. First quarter action, Alex Miskell will drive the lane, miss the first shot, but get his own rebound and continue to fight down low to put it back up for 2 points. Drew Higashigawa here going one-on-one with his defender, taking it to the net and getting the floater to drop, putting West up by 1. In the second quarter now, Jun Haku will get out of trouble by kicking it out to Isaiah Johnson, who pulls up for the three-pointer, and that one's good. And another three from that same corner, this time from Zach Tanada, will add to the lead as Warriors go up 19-12. Miskell continuing to play aggressive down low. Once again, he comes up with his own rebound, making his second attempt at the basket and getting the foul. And Higashigawa again makes his way down the paint for the lay-in to keep his team up by 10. Higashigawa then gets the nice assist to Brandon Kircher, who gets the basket to go in transition as the Warriors close out the first half up 26-20. In the third now, Kircher finds a wide-open Kento Matsumoto behind the arc for another three-pointer. Jun Haku will then get his own three to fall after the assist from Johnson. And moving to the final quarter now, Higashigawa with the no-look pass to Kircher under the basket for the easy lay-in. And Higashigawa will close out the game by crossing up his defender, driving down court, and getting the bucket. Warriors take the game 63-53. Here's head coach Russell Payne and Drew Higashigawa after the win.
I feel like in the first half we started off kind of slow, and in the second half we started to pick up the pace, started running more, getting easy baskets, which helped us contain that lead.
Kept that lead because our intensity picked up in the second half. I think the more we pressure the ball, the more aggressive we are, the more we trap, the faster paced games really favor our team more than kind of slowing it down. And we started to pick that up in the second half, and I think that's kind of why we separated a little bit from Northwood.
Next up, the Warriors travel to Morningside for the start of league play on December 13th. From West High School, I'm Catherine Gallo for the Sports Desk.
Thanks, Catherine. The Warriors are now on a 4-game win streak and looking to take that count up to 5 as they're set to face Morningside High.
Keep it up, Warriors. Let's check now in with the other schools' hoop coverage because they've been on the road and they've been taking care of business. Here are the results.
The last time the Lady Warriors were on the court, they fell to Linwood 65-53, and they now sit at a 4-4 overall record.
The Tartar ladies are still searching for their first win. They recently fell to Cajon 52-48.
The Tartar boys are in the midst of a 2-game win streak after beating Esperanza 44-37.
And the Spartans have dropped their last 3 and most recently fell to Palos Verdes 67-39.
The South girls sit at a 6-4 record and recently defeated Temple City 46-36.
The Bishop boys are ranked 21st in the state, though recently they fell to Westchester 65-55.
The Lady Knights are now 13th in the state and took down Long Beach Poly in the Troy Classic 46-43. Now that's not all for the Lady Knights on the court. We have to give a special Sports Desk shout out to a couple milestones that were recently reached.
Senior guard Kayla Padilla has now eclipsed 1,500 points for her career. Amazing achievement, and we're looking forward to you hitting 2,000.
Now along with those buckets Kayla was getting, head coach Noelle Quinn has reached 50 career wins. Coach Quinn is no stranger to winning on the court, and we know she's going to continue to lead this club to victories on the sideline. Big time congrats.
All right, let's cut to a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to be talking some soccer. More Sports Desk coverage is coming your way.
Good.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Oh boy.
We just found it. Our back and forth.
Look, Daddy.
Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Dad!
Whoa!
You made time.
That was perfect. Okay, here we go, throw it!
Yeah.
You probably don't remember what you told me.
Nice.
But I heard every word.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk. All right, now let's head to the fields and talk some football. The Saxons are off to a 2-win, 0-loss, 1-tie start. And they headed into this game battling an El Segundo team that finished second in their league last season. Sports reporter Anthony Ciardelli files this report.
Coach Roberto Rivas and his Saxons were looking to continue their strong start to the season against the El Segundo Eagles. We pick up the action tied in the 9th minute as Eagles forward Dennis Vezina controls it in the 18-yard box, but Kayala Trinidad and Zeus Vasquez combine for the nice stop. In the 30th minute, Michael McKibben takes the corner from Steven Fernandez off his chest and finishes to put North ahead 1-0. With minutes remaining in the second half, Malcolm Holtzman-Cisse fires the turnaround shot over Alberto Ramirez to tie it up. In the second half, the Eagles come right back and take the lead. Nate Salazar finds Ciaran Feeney at the back door off the throw-in, 2-1 El Segundo. With the Saxons trailing by a goal, McKibben gets fouled in the box, so North will get a penalty kick, and that's when Brandon Lee buries it to tie the game at 2. Heading into the PK, Lee was one cool customer.
I felt no pressure.
How-
In the penalty or
In the penalty line, like what was your strategy going in? What were you thinking?
just hit it in the corner and placement?
In the 72nd minute, the Saxons try to take the lead, but Richie Londono gets some bad luck and hits the post, keeping the game tied. But with just minutes left in the match, the Saxons get called for a handball in the box, and Holtzman-Cisse scores the eventual game winner for the Eagles. Coach Rivas said he isn't discouraged by the loss.
We're building, and we have young talent that can put the ball in the back of the net, and the way that they're touching the ball back and forth together, I mean, it generates opportunities, and we're putting them away.
Even though North lost El Segundo tonight, there were some more encouraging signs for the team. Their 2 goals made it 12 through 4 games on the year, and that's the most they scored through 4 games in more than a decade. Reporting from North High School, I'm Anthony Ciardelli for the Sports Desk.
Best start for the Saxons since the 2014-15 season when the team started 2 wins, 1 loss, and a tie. Their next game will be against Cerritos, and their first Torrance opponent will be Torrance High on December 17th. Now on to one of Torrance's powerhouse teams from last season, the Spartans, who started their year with a 2-1 victory over Roosevelt. They would have their work cut out for them taking on Palos Verdes with such a young squad. We throw it back to Sports Desk reporter Anthony Ciardelli, who caught the action.
The South Boys soccer team has started the 2018-19 campaign, and they're on a quest to get their 4th straight season with 15 wins or more. More importantly, they're looking to make another deep run into the CIF playoffs, where they were knocked out in a tiebreaker last year in the semifinals. Tonight, they had their second game of the season against Palos Verdes after beating Roosevelt High School in their first. This game would stay tied for a while, but South did have their chances early. First, Darren Matterman centers the ball to Daniel Yu, but Sea Kings keeper Renato Campagna scoops it up to keep the match scoreless. Then, off a free kick, Spartan senior Spencer Payne plays it into the box. It deflects off a Sea King and hits the crossbar, but stays out, still 0-0 into the second half. In the second half, Matterman strikes it again, but it just sails over the net. The game still tied 0-0. But with over 10 minutes remaining in the match, Sea Kings forward Dylan Bartlett slips the ball past charging Spartan goalie Max Zagala to give Palos Verdes the lead. South pressed hard in the game's final minutes, including this chance that flies over the goal, but they can't tie it up. Palos Verdes takes the win 1-0. The Spartans' coach and captain aren't concerned with the early loss.
It's a lot of new faces playing different roles and significant roles, so it's kind of trying to fit the pieces together still at this stage.
We're missing a lot of players, like we don't have Mason Briggs or Cole Cooch anymore, but we're figuring everything out. We're trying to figure out how to play together because everybody's kind of new. So,
reporting from South High School, I'm Anthony Cherdelli for the Sports Desk.
Thanks, Anthony. And tough loss for the Spartans. They have since tied Peninsula and sit at a 1-win, 1-loss, and 1-tie record overall.
The Spartans will take the field again versus Bishop Montgomery, and we'll have those results on the next edition of the Sports Desk. All right, Dani, let's go around and see how our other clubs are doing.
All right, let's do it. The Tartar boys are 2-2 overall, but recently fell to Animo leadership 1-0.
The Tartar girls have dropped their last 4 outings and are at a 1-4 overall record after falling to Santa Monica 5-2.
The Warrior boys recently tied Long Beach Jordan 1-1 and currently sit at a 1-win, 2-loss, 1-tie record.
The West girls also tied versus Culver City and sit at a 1-win, 2-loss, 2-tie record overall.
The Bishop Knights have won their last 2 and recently outmatched St. Bernard 5-0.
The Lady Knights took the field last against Hawthorne, beating them 4-0 and are currently at a 3-2 record overall.
All right, it's time for another quick break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we're getting the holiday season started with the Warriors of West High.
We'll be right back.
Hi, Mom, heading out. Later, Gator. Drive safe. I will. And don't forget to call me when you get there. I know. And don't forget to put your phone away. Already did. And you drive safe too, mister.
Palm trees, coastline, craft brews. Yep, this is Southern California. But this is Torrance. Have you ever driven to a whole other city just for a bowl of ramen? Because if you haven't, that's about to change. Have you ever been to a beach that feels so much like your own private beach that you're like, where has this been all my life? Welcome, my friends, to Torrance Beach. So private, you hadn't even heard of it. Have you ever been to a mall that had literally 2.7 million square feet of shopping? Run, don't walk to Del Amo Fashion Center. And get this, Torrance is the actual epicenter of the South Bay's craft brew industry. I guess you could say the brews are just craftier here. We also have a farmer's market that's just as much about the people as it is about the food. And even our museum scene is the best of the South Bay. All this just 15 minutes from LAX. You'll come for the city, stay for the experience, and leave as a friend. So, are you in?
Welcome back to the Sports Desk, everyone. Now let's talk social media really quick, because if we're not following each other already, that needs to change right now.
Hit us up
on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter in no particular order, and talk to us. We promise to talk back.
Keep us in the know in the world of Torrance sports, and it's important that you share with us what you want featured. So send us those videos and photos from the games. If you have an idea for a story here on the show and you want to just show some love maybe, send us a message. And we always and forever remember to use Hashtag the Sports Desk TV.
Always and forever.
All right, now before we jump into the holiday spirit, Cedric, I saw that you had a rather interesting weekend. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what you have for us next week?
That's right. Well, a year ago, I had the opportunity to train with CrossFit athlete Jamie Agia. She's a native of Torrance and even went to South High School. This past weekend, I got to catch up with her and chat about her experience in the CrossFit Games this past August. Here's a taste of what you're going to see on the next edition of the Sports Desk. I'm here with Torrance legend and native Jamie Agia, who's not only the owner of Torrance Training Lab, but is also a CrossFit Games competitor. Can you talk about your experience back in Wisconsin this past August?
Yeah, so a team of 4 of us. It was my friend Chelsea Grigsby, Andrew Kong, Ted Wing. The 4 of us teamed up. We made it to the CrossFit Games. It was 4 days of competition, 11 events, and we finished in 11th place overall out of 40 teams in the whole world.
That's a very big accomplishment. Talk about the journey it took to get back to the CrossFit Games. I know you competed in the regionals a few times, and you actually made it all the way through this year.
Yeah, I made it as an individual in 2016, so being able to make it back in 2018, this time with a team, I think with my basketball background, I love like the team aspect of everything and camaraderie and having training partners, so it was a lot more fun this year. It was a lot of work. We all had to work on our weaknesses. My weakness is running, so I did a lot of running leading up to the games, but all together, we had a great time and a great experience. Come on in, guys. So, welcome to Torrance Training Lab. They're cleaning up some weights, and we're about to get started. Jump up, we're gonna get our toes all the way up to the bar. Yeah. And you're just gonna come around here, and then go back down the other way.
Jamie just put me through a mile workout, and even after a year, it's still hard for me to do. One of the best trainers in Torrance, best competitors in the world. Jamie Agia, thank you so much.
Woo, that looks intense.
Sure was.
But I want to get in on it. So how was it with Jamie Agia?
Let's just say I have an incomplete grade for that class, but it's always fun meeting up with Jamie, and I look forward to showing you guys more of what took place at her gym right here in Torrance, the Torrance Training Lab.
We're looking forward to it as well. Can't wait. All right, now it's time for us to get into what West Torrance was up to Saturday morning.
Wait. Hold up, Dani. Hold up. I got this. All right.
Oh, really? Well, I think I want to get in on some of this Christmas spirit, too.
Oh, do you? I like it. Well, with Christmas just around the corner, there are a few special things already underway with some charity initiatives. And one team we like to bring to the spotlight will be the West Warriors boys basketball team. SportsDesk reporter Catherine Gallo is standing by, and she has our story.
It's the best time of the year again, the season of giving. But at West High School, I'm not just referring to the holidays when I say that. I'm talking about the entire basketball season, as this Warriors team has made the commitment to give back to their community, not just during the month of December, but all year long. West Torrance has already proven they can shine on the court this year, starting the season with an impressive 8-2 record. But it's off the floor and without the basketball where this team has made its greatest impact.
For us, West Torrance basketball, I think that was the number one focus for me when we got the job, is that a lot of kids, they come from a good life, they have good families, their lives aren't extremely difficult, for the most part. So we just felt once a month we got to find a way to give back to the community, city of Torrance or just surrounding cities, and finding a way to just give back to those that need a little more than us. So it started for our season. We're going to do it year-round. So they're going to do one time each month. They're going to have to do some sort of community service activity, if it's small, big, but just something to give back.
It's an initiative that puts things into perspective for the Warriors, as the players get the opportunity to take a step back and see how fortunate they are for the things in their life beyond basketball.
Kids sometimes don't necessarily understand how important the little things are to those that might need it a little more than they do. So I felt it was a good way to not only show that I enjoy giving back, but that the kids can kind of see a different side of the world. Sometimes they get stuck in their bubble and they're so used to what they do every day, going to school, going to basketball practice, if it's playing video games or just hanging out with friends, that they don't realize that there's so much more in the world that's going on.
I think he did it just to show us like how different the world is in less fortunate areas, and how important it is to give back and how much they actually do appreciate it.
Starting in September of this year, West Torrance has already held a beach cleanup, gathered donations for hurricane relief, and fed the homeless during Thanksgiving week. And today they continue those efforts by hosting a toy drive in their home gym.
Everybody for the Torrance basketball program, West Torrance basketball program, has given toys today. So we're going to take the toys to those less fortunate. I have to figure out exactly where we're going, but we're going to go and deliver them ourselves.
Because we're so fortunate here, it's important for us to give back to people who are less fortunate than us. We gave out plates for Thanksgiving. Because I have family that kind of not live here, but they're in the same situation. So it meant a lot to me to help people like that.
For as many basketball lessons as Coach Payne will teach his team over the course of his career, it's the community service projects like these that he most hopes will stick with his players and will become a constant part of their lives even after their playing careers are over.
West Torrance basketball is going to continue to put our foot forward and imprint on the community. I think that's probably the most important thing that I think I could do. And I think the reason behind it is because a lot of these kids, they play basketball because they enjoy it, but it's not going to become their career or their profession, and they have to find a way to take all the life lessons we're teaching through the game of basketball and apply it after college and after life, and hopefully things we do stick with them down the road, and they find a way when they're older and they have kids and they have families to give back and continue to stay involved in the community. So we're hoping that all those things just stay connected to them, and they've enjoyed it so much being a part of here for, if it's 1 year or 4 years, that they want to continue to do it.
Reporting from West High School, I'm Catherine Gallo for the Sports Desk.
Thanks, Catherine, and amazing work, Warriors. It's really inspiring, and it excites me to know that so many children are going to have a great Christmas this year. Over 250 toys will be going out to the children this holiday season.
I couldn't be happier to see those young men make a difference. And you can get involved too, Torrance. Make sure you get out and impact somebody this holiday season.
Of course, there are Toys for Tots and local vendors throughout the city that accept donations for the less fortunate. Let's make sure every child has a Christmas that they're going to remember this season.
No child should be left behind. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Sports Desk.
And remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Share with us your story ideas, pics, and videos. We want to hear from you, Torrance, so make sure you hit us up on social media.
We're signing off, but we'll catch you right here back next week on the Sports Desk.